I know you hate my jokes, but what about making joke characters?
They might work. Let's see what Ted's punniest character ideas are.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Steve. Welcome to Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds.
Now let's see if these characters are just a joke.
So puns and jokes have always been a part of our gaming group and experience.
You've got Monty Python and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They've shaped, thousands of nerds into, the type of comedy and things that are getting heavily referenced at gaming tables, even decades after their release.
Yeah, I mean, even to this day, like, I don't think a gaming session goes by without, someone making a Monty Python or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy reference. Now, it just might be different because we're older and maybe that's at our tables, but I bet there's like, you new gamers have your own thing, your own equivalent. Maybe it's like memes and stuff instead. But that's not all. Like, we've always been like, oh, got a new player at the table? Let them be a generic human fighter. We even came up with a special name for that particular character.
So we've got Jean-Ric Human Fighter. And for a while, we had a generic human fighter, statted up and ready to go. And when somebody came to the table, I don't have a player. I don't have a character ready. Here you go.
Yeah, I mean, usually it was for the new players, but, you're a noob, you get Jean-Ric Human Fighter. 5e's a little bit easier for new players to jump in. So, back in 3rd edition, there were so many choices and so much number crunching. We didn't want someone to have to sit in the corner for 2 hours making their character to finally be able to get into the game. And then Dungeons and Dragons itself has a long, outstanding history with jokes. Going back to Dragon Magazine, from very early into Dragon Magazine, every April, they would have the April Fool's issue where it'd be a bunch of punny and jokey type stuff, or and comedy to like insert into your game or just for your enjoyment.
Let's not step away from Tasha's hideous laughter. I mean, come on, it's right there. It's a low level spell, so you can get access to humor right from the beginning.
Now, Nerdarchy has kind of kept that tradition alive and well from Dragon Magazine. So we kind of like every April, our Patreon rewards, which then become products on our store, have been themed by the hair dimension because, it's been made the joke that, my beard would change because I would dye it sometimes and cut it. And we wouldn't put our videos up in the order that we shot them. So it always changed. And people would be like, what's up with Dave's beard? And I'd be like, it's beardomancy, of course. So we have the beardomancy product over on the website as well as terrible ideas. So we've taken like kind of a serious approach to some funnier elements of the game and that you can add right into your game. There will be a link in the description if you want to check those out.
All right, so how are jokes and joke characters typically taken at a table?
I feel like this really depends on how you implement them and use them. Like, you can make a character that's a pun or has comedic value as long as you do it in a serious way so it doesn't detract from the table.
So in other words, you can have a joke character and still be able to role play and still, deal with serious themes and threats.
Yeah, Jean-Ric Human Fighter. Like, that was a funny thing to us, but it's very easily a serious character. I feel like over the years, there's other characters that have been crazy and silly like that have showed up at the table, but at the same time, they added to the game. They weren't detracting from the game. I feel like more than one occasion, there's been the character that's been introduced based off of the Mummy movie where you have the one character in that movie that has like all these different like religious icons on them. I don't really believe in any of them, but just in case, like, they're bringing out the Ankh, the cross, the Star of David, whatever.
Yeah, Benny was a great character, and you could totally, do that. That would make a great charlatan character, and regardless of what class you play, you just go with, I've got religion, you've got a whole bunch of languages, could easily be done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what are some of the jokes you've done as characters in your games? What are some of the comedic moments that have come up? Share with us and the rest of the Nerdarchy community down in the comments below.
While you're down there, don't forget to do all those things that make the YouTube happy. Like, share, subscribe, even click that notification bell.
And as a quick reminder, every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we drop new content, new videos on the channel. Come back and see what we're talking about.
All right, so we've decided we're going to present, 3 kind of comedic or kind of punny character builds that have been tossed around the Nerdarchy verse for a little while. So first off, we're looking at what's that elephant in the room?
Yeah, the elephant in the room. I don't. I don't think we have an ape-like character yet, or because you could do the gorilla in the room as well. But it's just like a saying where you could make the pun of the character off of it. In this case, it's the Luxodon. And if you were to go Monk, Way of the Shadow, or the Rogue, or some combination thereof, I feel like it's a living embodiment of that phrase.
With the ability of being really good at stealth. This could be fun. This could be interesting. Of like, you're sneaking and all of a sudden you're caught. And now, that phrase comes up of, where did the elephant in the room come from?
And then if you just really wanted to double down and add to kind of like that trope and that stereotype, you could make that character terrified of rodent type monsters and creatures.
Yeah, it would definitely be a lot of fun and playing up into the stereotype, playing into this role that might not exist, but adding the serious layers into it. Well, why is this particular Loxodon afraid of ratkin or rat folk, or where rats, what happened in their backstory that led to this particular scenario, and then give that to the GM so that, oh, you've got a built-in flaw into your character. Let's let this come up to add fun and to make this thing happen.
Yeah. Also, like in the comments, if you want us to do the character build guide for this character and make this up, we could absolutely do that. Next up for our punniest characters is the Lizard Wizard, times not 1, not 2, but 3. And that's because, like, based off of the rules that we have so far, I believe we got Dragonborn, Lizard Folk, and Kobold are all reptilian creatures, lizard-like creatures, where you could make the Lizard Wizard. And Lizard Wizard is just fun to say.
It's fun. It's silly. Definitely falls into that angle. Dragonborn Wizard doesn't seem to be too far of a stretch. Kobolds tend to go more towards sorcerer. But there's nothing to say that a kobold couldn't be a wizard. And heck, I've done the Lizard Wizard character in a game before. I happen to really like lizard folk. I think they are cool, both mechanically what they get and visually. I think they're awesome. One of my favorite images, or my favorite image of D&D, happens to be of a very unique lizard folk. So I definitely have a lot of love for that particular race.
Now, I don't know that we've done any character build guides for the Lizard Wizard, but we've definitely done character builds, and I'm pretty sure there's videos on that on the channel. If you search on the homepage of Nerdarchy, you'll probably get some hits for Lizard Wizard.
All right, so our third and final one is the Killer Rabbit. So we're talking about the Rabbit Folk, recently released from the UA, Path of the Beast Barbarian.
Yeah, this is really new. We weren't able to do it before.
So this is totally inspired by the Killer Rabbit of Monty Python and, the Beast of Caer Banog.
So Vinat Draco, one of the Nerdarchy community members that leaves comments on our videos often, suggested that we do this build after the Folk of the Feywild came out, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally stealing this idea. This is a great idea. Why would you not want to make a killer rabbit? Whether you're popping the claws or you're making the bite attack, your foes are going to only have one choice, and that is to run away.
So what do you think on this one? Does this one require us to do the full breakdown? Do we have to add something else, or is this just Rabbit Folk and Barbarian? Let us know.
And hey, this isn't the first time we've gotten a little crazy with our D&D character ideas. You can check out Craziest D&D characters in your game Around here somewhere.
And if you'd like to help Nerdarchy out, why not check us out on Patreon? Support us over there to help keep making videos like this one.
And as a thank you, you'll receive monthly 5e content for players and DMs alike, chance to game with us, and more.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.